Hello and welcome to Pursuit of Perfect System. It's been like Christmas in the Pursuit of Perfect System house the last couple of weeks. Had all those products sent in from Tellurium Q, and I don't know if you can see this beastie here behind me. That's the Black Diamond speaker cables. I've had them back in today, and I bet you're thinking, yeah, why is he running a cable across there? Well, that's because I've got to be careful not to knock my balls off my cutest, because I can never find them again. So yeah, that might be an in-joke for some of you. Anyway, it's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to have a look at some new products that have just come in, and they're all products that are going to go into our new audio PC or music server or dedicated digital transport, all the same names for, or music computer or computer for music, all the same names for the same bloody thing. And actually I've just been waiting for one product to turn up before I make a start on it, and that is this obviously bad boy here. This is the JCat 400 watt linear power supply, and I don't know if you can see really from the video, not only is it a stunning piece, but it's also pretty big and pretty substantial. Now that is a Samsung S9 Plus phone, so a huge phone, and look, you know, look how big obviously it is by comparison in terms of size and in terms of scale. It really is a beast, but not only is it a beast, it looks really nice. These really nice styled heat fins and stuff down the side. It feels really robust and really quality. So I was really impressed with the packaging that the 400 watt JCat linear power supply came in. It came in, you know, double boxed for starters, really thick heavyweight cardboard, you know, packed in, you know, wrapped and then stuffed in these two massive great big slabs of foam. So that was really impressive. But it also came with two brown boxes. So inside one brown box we've got, hopefully you can see that, what would look very, very familiar to you know, anybody who's built a PC before. We've got all our, you know, typical PC cables, so like our 12-pin motherboard or 8-pin CPU. We've got serial ATA connections. Even looks like we've got a graphics card connection in there, which I think we do. So literally you get all the normal power supply, power supply benefits or cables and ease of installation that you would get with a normal PC build, and yet all the actual benefits of a linear power supply, as I mentioned before. And then inside the other chassis, or inside the other box, sorry, we've got all what actually looks like exactly or very, very similar cables that came with the 200 watt linear power supply. Now these are all the cables we need more for our audio PC side of things, like our JCat Net Femto card, which we'll talk about in a second, or the JCat Net JCat Femto USB card, or other maybe USB to SP diff converters, or any other products you might be using inside that require, you know, DC barrel power or maybe XLR power and stuff. That's all here, or some of them are here. There's a lot of different ones to choose from. So fair play. Not only do they give us a really high quality product, they give us a ton of different cables to power things from as well. I'm really happy with that. But I did not buy this linear power supply just because it's 400 watts or just because it's JCat or just because it looks pretty. Not at all. I bought it for a specific reason, and to get to the specific reason we have to look at the back of it. Quite, it's heavy. It's very heavy. It's about 15 kilos, a real substantial unit. I don't know if you can see across the back here, but those are the same connections that you would get from a normal computer ATX power supply, and that is what makes this linear power supply that little bit special. Now, up until recently, maybe for the last 4 or 5 years, and in a lot of products, if you look, if you get any internal photos of a lot of products that exist on the market, a lot of them are computer orientated products, and the way they're powered is they're powered via what's called a Pico PSU. Now a Pico PSU plugs into the 12 volt socket of the motherboard. You then feed that Pico PSU with 12 volts or 19 volts, depending on what version you're using, from a linear power supply. And the Pico PSU then converts the 12 volts into what the computer needs, the 5 volts, the 3 volts, I think it's 3.3, all the different voltages. So that works, and that works absolutely fine. However, that's a noisy process, and that's not the best way to do it. This particular linear power supply has been designed to do all that conversion in-house, in the product itself, and then you literally just feed the computer the exact same power that you would with a normal ATX power supply, but with all the benefits and sound quality benefits of a linear power supply. And those are massive. Anybody who's ever tried powering a computer from a linear power supply, there's no going back. There's absolutely no going back. So this is technically the very best way to do it. Now, there's been products built years ago in the past where it's huge, great big boxes, and they had dedicated rails for the 5V and the 12V and all the different things you need. But those were massive and those were really, really expensive. Now, this is at 750 euros ish price points, and certainly not cheap, but you get what you pay for. This is a really well built quality unit. It looks really nice, but the fact that it has that design feature, it's just fantastic. So this is definitely the best power supply you can get to power an audio PC, which is why I've got it. But that's not all we've got that's new to talk about. In these two boxes, this one I think you've already seen, or you might have already seen if you've watched a previous video. In this box is our JCat reference serial ATA cable. Yes, I even upgrade the serial ATA cables within an audio PC. Now, if anybody knows me, they know I'm cable crazy, but I done my testing years ago, and the serial ATA cable, specifically the one that leads to the operating system SSD or drive, whatever one you use, is really, really important for sound quality. And this is the new JCat serial ATA cable, and I'm itching to try this because I've had it on good authority. This is a big step up from the original JCat serial ATA cable of about 4 or 5 years ago. So obviously this is going to be going in our build. I'm really excited to try it. Okay then, so this is another new box we need to open. Another new JCat product. If I can actually open it. Right then, I've actually had this now for maybe a month or so, and I've been absolutely itching to try it out. Inside here, if we take out our nice packaging and our nice instructions and stuff, is nicely wrapped in bubble wrap, and then nicely wrapped in anti-static protection. This here, eventually, is the JCat Femto, or the JCat Net Femto card. This is actually a dedicated network card for improving both network audio and locally stored audio. And that's a real interesting one, because I think even when JCat, the chaps over there, Marcin, was designing this, I don't think he expected it to have, you know, an effect on like locally stored music, i.e. music that's stored on a local hard drive. But by all accounts, it does. And what's special about this? Well, quite a few things, in fact. So this is designed to improve the audio performance, obviously from streamed music, from streaming services, Tidal, etc., but also locally stored music. Now, there's full technicals of it. They're beyond me. I'm really not sure. I'll put a link in the description below the video. You can obviously go and check it out and obviously see for yourself what's written about it. But what's really important about this product is that it needs, or best way to use it is to feed it with external power. You can either do it via a Molex or you can do it via a DC barrel. I'll go into more details when we do the PC build, but that's obviously something to bear in mind. Now, JCat sell the perfect products for this. They sell their linear power supplies. So this power supply here is big enough to power out a whole PC, i.e. a motherboard and our CPU, and then we could feed, obviously, you know, off one of the rails, a 5V rail, into this. But we'll see. We've got a lot of different power supplies, and I'll work out the best way to test it. But we've got more things to talk about, so stay there. Okay then, inside this big box is actually another box, and another box, and a tray of pieces, and some foam. Oh, I've got to drop that. And then a piece of metal, and then another bit of foam and a piece of metal. What this is our new chassis that we're going to be using to put our audio PC in. This is actually the JCat limited edition audio PC chassis. Now, what I didn't realise when I ordered it was that it comes in pieces and it needs to be assembled. That was a real shock. I expected to open the box and it just be there ready to pull out. But what is actually interesting is when you look at the instructions for this, you can see that it's clearly a modular design. And the fact that it's a modular design really is the best way. You build it specifically to how you're going to want it, whether you're going to use a full size motherboard, which we are, whether you're going to use one of the little micro ITX motherboards. You obviously put your pins, which are obviously in the plastic there, where you need them. It's got loads of different options for mounting hard drives. It's got enough space inside for mounting small power supplies. There's loads of options and loads of versatility with this. Now, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve for what we put inside an audio PC. And so say I'm going to do a whole video build on it, and it'll probably be in stages because there's a lot to talk about and a lot to show you know, demonstrate really. So we'll start by opening the old PC. You'll see how messy it is inside. That's something I've been working on. You know, I've built all my own cables, screened all my own cables. They're all massive and chunky. I love my cables. So yeah, we'll show you that, and then we'll do obviously a full video. But I've got even more for you, even more good videos. When I was out in Munich, I actually met with Marcin Ostapowicz, I think that's how you say surname, apologies if that's wrong, and we met and we had a chat, and we got to talking, and he, you know, told me quite a little bit about JCat and JCat Products and a few other things. So I hope you enjoy this. Okay, we're here at Munich High-End 2018. I'm here with Marcin, who's the director and owner of JPlay and JCat Products, and I want to talk to him about well, I've been using JPlay and JCat Products for years. It's fantastic to meet you, so nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
Tell us more about JPlay, please, and tell us more about JCat.
JPlay is a software player that focuses on sound quality. This is the highest priority. It's been developed since 2011. It is it started as a hobby, then it became a business. And it's also my passion to pursue high-end computer audio and to extract the highest possible quality from a PC.
Well, it was interesting for me as a JPlay user when JCat Products started coming out. It seemed like the obvious move for you as a company to start making hardware as good as the software. So tell us about JCat Products.
I saw that there are some weak links in the PC. In the PC components, so I started looking at what's important, and of course the most important part was the USB output, which is very low quality in most of PCs. So we developed a specialized USB output card for desktop PCs with low jitter clock and linear power supplies, which proven to be a very good product. And so I try to look at the whole thing. So combine the software and the hardware together in order to get the highest possible playback quality.
Well, obviously, you know, I own loads of JCat products, with 4 JCat products on the way, and I'm really hugely impressed with them. Every time you add one to your system, it's amazing how much difference they make.
Thank you.
Even especially the ones you think might not make a difference, they seem to make more difference than the others, which gets your head scratching. So, what is next? What is coming next for JCat, would you say, or JPlay?
What is coming next?
Well, tell us about the Switch, because the Switch is a really unusual thing. It's like you look at it as a photo, you can't get your head around what that actually does and what that is.
Well, the Switch is it's a high-end version of the network hub.
Okay.
Including the set of cables, with unusual N12 connectors. And the Switch, basically I could compare it to a high-end power conditioner, but for the LAN network. Okay. The effect is very similar to a high-end power conditioner. So this is the easiest way to imagine the effect on sound, the benefit of sound quality.
I mean, I would say most people probably focus hardware and software on the audio PC, and they forget maybe what's around it.
Yes, exactly. It really acts as a firewall between the PC and the rest of the system. Well, once you try it, I think there is no going back. I know it's really extremely expensive, so I understand it's limited to very high-end systems, but it really makes sense.
What's been really interesting to me and really rewarding is normally with obviously HiFi products you have to buy another box to get an upgrade. So you spend a lot of money on a box, I want the next upgrade, I've got to spend another lot of money on a box, whereas the components from JCat, you can add them bit by bit by bit, get improvement and improvement and improvement. So you kind of, you don't have to spend fortunes every single time, and you can get still tangible and obvious improvement every single time you add a product. So it's like a scalable system, if that makes sense. You upgrade it over time, and I find that really rewarding. For if someone has not the money to buy it all at once, you can do it over time.
Yeah, the hard part is that you need to know how to combine all these bits together. So this may be not for everyone, but like you said, it's rewarding once you put all the things together. But for the people who want only one solution, I can tell you that there will be some.
Oh wow, okay. That's a little tease.
It's in the works, it's still in the design process, but the full solution is really come. As an alternative, not to customers who already build the full system, but people who just don't want to involve in building PCs and software and everything.
So I can imagine that does scare some people who thought take on. To me, it's one of those rewarding things. It is a headache at times, but it's rewarding because you are doing it yourself. You are hands-on.
Yeah.
You feel more in control. You feel like you can add bits that you want. You can add the software that you want, rather than being completely tied down to what another manufacturer might want to put in there for you. That to me is a lovely feature. Really, the fact that you are in control of what is in there and what's on it. It's totally from start to finish.
You need to learn this thing.
Of course, yeah.
But once you learn, you understand how this works, and I think you understand more than an average person. What's all about in computer audio? What's important? What makes it different?
Marcin, thanks very much for your time. It's obviously really busy, really busy, great show. I've got to get a lot more rooms to get around. I'm assuming you've got to see some rooms as well with lots of people and stuff. But obviously we've got more JCat reviews and products coming real soon. So look forward to those. And lovely, thank you very much for your time. Lovely to meet you. Really lovely to meet you. And I just want to thank you personally because JPlay and JCat's transformed this hobby for me from a source point of view. What a source can do, JPlay and JCat transformed it for me. That's the gospel truth. So
thank you.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously Marcin is the main man behind JCat and JPlay products, which obviously I wouldn't be at without any of them. As you can see, I've bought in obviously loads. When we do the rebuild, I'm going to be adding loads of JCat products to it, and I'm confident that our dedicated transport is going to sound even better than it does now. So I've got all that content coming. You have to bear with me because there's a lot of projects going on. When you do a new build, you've got to give things time. You've got to give power supply a little bit of time to get going. All the other bits and pieces. There may be a few snags along the way that I need to work through. So it's very difficult to do things like this when you've got a load of products that need testing, such as really awesome speaker cables and some really awesome products coming from another manufacturer from Japan as well very soon. So hope you've enjoyed this one. This is just a quick one, just a little bit of insight and a little look at the JCat products that we're going to have, that we're going to be putting in our new audio PC build, which I actually really am looking forward to doing. It's one of them things, I dread doing it, but it's one of them sorts of projects that once it's done, you can always sit back and go, I feel really proud of that, and I can't wait to listen to it. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Visit the website, leave us a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Take care.